So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm wondering also if you could talk a little bit about this, the role and function and the importance of the course of study. I know I didn't include this in our questions ahead of time, but I know it comes up, and a lot of schools are really unclear about what is this course of study and where does it go and how do you talk about it?
Sure. So the course of study, again, a lot of things in transition are naturally happening, but we're just calling it something else.
Mhm.
The course of study is really something to ensure that the student is going to be able to achieve or make progress towards that post-secondary goal. So for example, if a student would like to go to college, we want to make sure that in their course of study, there are classes that will enable them to achieve their high school diploma. You know, they also have to pass MCAS, but we want to make sure that courses that they're taking are going to lead to a high school diploma, as that's a requirement for the vast majority of colleges. So it's, are you fulfilling your requirements? Are we fulfilling English? Do we have a plan to make sure math is fulfilled? If we need to discuss foreign language, that people are thinking that ahead of time. So we're not getting till junior or senior year
Mhm.
to say, oh my gosh, we forgot a certain class. And teams are typically naturally doing that. A lot of ways that you can reflect a course of study in the IEP is writing down the anticipated graduation date. That way everyone knows, okay, for this student, we're anticipating 4 years of high school. They're going to graduate by June 2018. That's our exit point. So we can go back and look at, okay, over the course of the next 3 years, 4 years, whatever age that student is, are we going to be able to embed the courses and the supports that the student needs to make progress towards those post-secondary goals? For some students that are staying past age 18, it might look a little bit different, especially as they're getting higher in high school. As we're getting to 11th or 12th grade, that might be the time to start thinking about, when are we shifting? Are we going to shift instruction to be mostly community-based? Are we infusing that before the student turns 18? And you can reflect that in the additional information or whatever part of the IEP makes sense to show that you've discussed the course of study. Naturally, some of those things are going to go into the transition planning form as well. One thing that I really advise teams to do is, under the action plan for the transition planning form, is to note when a student's meeting with their guidance counselor.
Mhm.
Those things are naturally happening, but we can highlight that I'm going to talk to my guidance counselor by April of 2018 to identify what classes I need to take in my junior year, that we're going to have a conversation about interests. There's an elective that might be really helpful for me if I want to go on to pursue culinary after high school, or engineering. Maybe there's a club that I can join, or there's a special elective class, a career and tech ed class that I can take. So by identifying what the interests are, we can really refine the course of study. So hopefully that answers that question.
Yeah, that's actually a great response, and it's good to. I love how you emphasize like considering this early. Eighth grade, ninth grade, the time to talk about what those options are is really then, because the closer you get to the point of graduation, the less time and flexibility there is in terms of scheduling.
Right. Right.
So,
So we
so
want
I
to be looking at that end point. Yeah.
Right, right. And I think if we look at it early, we can be more responsive to students' strengths, interests, and preferences.
Absolutely.